Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today is a full review and also comparison of the new release from Parfum de Marly Oriana. As usual, I will go through everything, notes, how it smells, how it performs, to whom would I recommend this fragrance, and is it worth your money. I will also do a comparison between the new Oriana with Sintra from Memo. So if you want to know all about Oriana, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Also follow me on Instagram where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. So Oriana is the newest release of the very famous niche brand Parfum de Marly. This house is quite famous of another fragrance, Delina, which I have reviewed and have a full comparison between the original one and the flanker. If you want to watch it, I will leave it linked up here and in the description down below. I have a full buying guide on women fragrances from Parfum de Marly, which I will upload very soon. So if you want to know all about the brands, then definitely check that video. Parfum de Marly is one of the niche brands that are very mass pleasing, I would say. A perfect introduction into niche. So if you are venturing into niche, I would definitely recommend you start by Parfum de Marly because they are very good quality, but at the same time the scent itself is not very challenging, let's say, like a lot of niche brands, and Oriana is not an exception. So Oriana is the latest release from Parfum de Marly. It was actually released last year, but yeah, I could not test this fragrance before now. So here we are. I will start by reading you the notes and then we'll go through all the stages of this fragrance and how it smells on skin. So we have top notes of mandarin orange, grapefruit and bergamot, so quite citrusy opening. In the mid you have orange blossom, raspberry, blackcurrant, and in the base you have marshmallow, whipped cream, musk, and ambrette. So reading the notes, you would expect that this is quite a sweet and very creamy gourmand fragrance. So I have it here now in the dry down. I will spray it on my other hand, so I will get the opening. The opening, as you can imagine, is quite citrusy. It's very fresh. You get a lot of orange. You also get orange blossom. Orange blossom is the main character of this fragrance. Very quickly, this orange note will become almost a candied orange kind of a fragrance. It has this candy vibe to it. And at first, I did not get any like whipped cream or marshmallow vibe to it. In the mid-range, however, you will start to get this powdery note. And this is where the marshmallow comes in. So it doesn't smell like the marshmallow itself. It smells more like the powder that is covering the marshmallow, if that makes any sense. I also didn't get the whipped cream even in the mid dry down. So in the mid dry down, it's more about this orange blossom, this powdery marshmallowy note, and this candy like orange. The raspberry really starts to peek through, but it's not really there. It's fruity, yes, but more a citrus fruity than like a berry fruity fragrance. You also get the musky note right from the start. There is a clean musky vibe in this fragrance. In the very dry down, this orangey candy like note will really settle down and you will get this creamy orange blossom. Still the powderiness from like the marshmallowy note is there and the musk really shines. However, I would not categorize this fragrance as a creamy fragrance, you know? You get a little bit of this creaminess, but it's, I don't know, when I first read the notes, I was expecting an extremely creamy, almost edible fragrance, and it's not like that. It's definitely on the gourmand side. Even in the dry down, the citrusy touch remains. As I said, orange blossom is the main note here. I would say, followed by this powdery marshmallow note, and then a little bit of whipped cream and oranges, and definitely the musk. It's an extremely feminine fragrance. It's sweet, it's a little bit girly, it's fun, flirtatious. It's a very flirtatious fragrance. Some people would categorize it even as a sexy fragrance. However, when it comes to performance, I have big issues with this fragrance. Oriana does not have the lasting power of other fragrances from Parfum de Marly. I would say it has a moderate longevity with weak to moderate sillage. If you know, Parfum de Marly fragrances are very long-lasting and projecting fragrances. This is definitely not. So you will have to take that in consideration before buying this fragrance. It's quite a pricey one. And yeah, usually when we pay so much money, we want better performing fragrances, but unfortunately this one is not. Now, a lot of people compare this one to Love Don't Be Shy from Kilian. That is also a very sweet and orange blossom fragrance. I personally never smelled Love Don't Be Shy. Yes, I know, shocking, but actually I've never tested any of the Kilian fragrances, and I definitely have to. But anyway, they also compare it to Sintra from Memo, and that one I do have a sample of. And let me start by saying they are not really similar. They have the same vibe, let's say. They are both on the gourmand side, sweet. Orange blossom is the predominant note in both of them, but they are not really similar. Sintra, what really distinguishes Sintra from Oriana, I would say, is the petitgrain. Sintra, it smells like exactly like a Middle Eastern dessert. So if you ever went into like a Middle Eastern grocery store and you bought the mazahar or like the orange blossom water, you can really get it in Sintra. It's a little bit sharp because there is a petitgrain note. It's extremely powerful. It's a powerhouse. It projects, it's long-lasting. When it comes to performance, it's a monster. While Oriana, on the contrary, has more of the orange blossom. There is no sharpness here. It's more soft and creamy, but not long-lasting like Sintra. So I would say, if you want to splurge and you are looking for a gourmand orange blossom fragrance, if you don't mind petitgrain, then definitely Sintra is worth your money. But if performance for you is not an issue, and you love orange blossom, you love gourmand fragrances, and you are looking for a sexy, flirtatious, feminine fragrance, yeah, then I think Oriana is for you. Is there any similar fragrances in the designer world? No. However, it's a very mass-pleasing scent. So if Parfum de Marly in general is a very mass-pleasing niche house, Oriana is definitely the most mass-pleasing of all of them. And I don't mean by that it's a bad fragrance. It's actually a beautiful fragrance. Personally, I will not buy it, not because of the performance issue, but mostly because orange blossom is not my favorite note in fragrances. So I personally will skip on this fragrance. So to summarize, Oriana is a beautiful, sweet, gourmand orange blossom fragrance. It has a little bit of powderiness, it's a little bit creamy, but mostly it smells like orange blossom and a candied orange, in my opinion. Is not very long lasting or a projecting fragrance. However, it's sweet, it's flirtatious, it's sexy. It's a very mass-pleasing scent. Overall, it's a good release from Parfum de Marly. So that was it. That was my review on Oriana from Parfum de Marly. I really hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will not miss any future uploads. Also, don't forget to check my buying guide on Parfum de Marly in the description down below. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!